not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Wardrobe provided by Bahari Bahamas. Visit shopbahari.com. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. And as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. Now, you know what the deal is. Today is Friday, so that means that we are doing a TGIF open line show today. And this is when we give you an opportunity to have your voices heard by calling into the show and telling us what's on your mind, or posting a comment on Facebook, or sending us a text. And so the telephone number to call is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. And the text line is 828-2543. 828-2543. So again, if you want to call and have your voice heard, the number is 828-3543. 828-3543. And the text line is 828-2543. 828-2543. And of course, you can put your comments on Facebook. So make sure that you like and share the show. Let everybody know that GPS is on the air. And we already have a call, y'all. Good morning and welcome to GPS.
Good morning, Miss Michelle Malcolm, Berenice Johnson, the original. This is Twilight Zone.
Good morning.
I want to call you reference to something you, it was on your show. You spoke about it, about an African calling you.
Yes.
Because I caught it a little late and I couldn't call in. Now, Miss Michelle Malcolm, there are so many Africans controlling the car lot. I don't know if you're aware of it or if you have did any investigations, but I am aware of it.
Okay.
And first, let me say good morning to my mortal boss, former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that to him and God's miraculous recovery so that he can be a part of this solution, that our people can get back to living a standard of quality. Now, plenty Africans are here. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you recall when the Haitians asked to be returned or repatriated to Haiti. Now, there are many passports when they said that those Haitians were drowned off Abaco and all that sort of stuff. They are now in the hands of the Africans, and these Africans are multilingual. You have women who said, and I'm not being disrespectful, who are using these Africans, say that they make better love than the Bahamian men, disrespecting our Bahamian men. And many Africans are living down in the area of Adelaide and in the back of the Carmichael territories and Some are in the West Ridge, up in the Winton area. They are all over, and they are being mistaken, some of them, for Haitians. Okay? Some of the Haitians are here illegally. However, the majority, and that letter or that person who wrote, they are former woman parliamentarians, and some of them are part of the Junkanoo, because the Chinese, it is alleged, has purchased or paid out for the Junkanoo now, that only Africans will be taking over the entire Bahamian Junkanoo festivities. Now, I hope that people listening will call in and corroborate this, because some of them are so scared. Hello?
Okay. I listen, but I want you to bring this to a point, though, because you all over the place.
I'm bringing it to a point because when they are attacking my mortal boss about all that immigrants, that was their way before.
Okay.
And they know who the call. You want me to call the name? Who you want? You
I
can
want
invite
you.
it?
No, I
The
want
woman?
you to call, no, I don't want you to call.
But they vacation in Peationville,
Okay.
and she said it on the airwaves, and they are making money off legal, suing the Bahamian Treasury.
Okay.
With you know the lawyer who's winning the money.
Baron, I got another caller trying to call in, and you all over the place. So thank you so much for calling.
Okay,
all right?
but I all over the place because it's about the immigrants, and your conversation was brought up.
Yeah.
Sunday Christian, get those two names, Sunday Christian and lover's license, driver's license. You'll get the answer.
Okay, all right.
Good day. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody else was trying to call. The number to call is 828-3543. 828-3543 is the number to call. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is an open line show today, and we want to hear from you. But when you call, try to get to the point. All right. We only got 2 hours in this show, so you can't be going on and on and on and on and ain't getting to no point. All right. So yeah, I want to talk about a couple of things today. But of course, like I said, this is not just about me and what I want to talk about, but it's about you as well. And so I'd love to hear from you. So one of the most important things that I think went down in this past week was our Prime Minister, competent authority, whichever you want him to be on any particular time, announces in the House of Assembly that either you vaccinate or you isolate. I want you to get that clip ready for me, please. And in essence, what he is saying in this clip is that if you are fully vaccinated, then you're going to have some privileges. You'll be able to do indoor dining, and you'll be able to go all around the place without, like if, you and a group of people are vaccinated, you'll all be able to get together, and you won't have to, wear a mask and all these kinds of things. And then he's also encouraging the junkaneurs, saying if you want to go back in the shack, you have to be vaccinated. And then he's saying that visitors who come into the country, if you're vaccinated, you won't have to have a test, a PCR test to show that you are clear of the virus. Let's go to the clip and hear from our Prime Minister, our competent authority, on these new regulations as it relates to whether or not you are vaccinated.
Once individuals within our shores, all of us, as well as those coming visiting, once they have received the second dose of the vaccine, or they have met the vaccination requirements, they do not need any further testing to move about through our Bahama land. Therefore, I encourage individuals to receive the vaccine as quickly as possible. If an individual is not fully vaccinated, that individual will still be required to provide a negative COVID-19 test. Their testing requirements are in place. Mr. Speaker, this would greatly assist our economy, and it would also assist in reducing the number of infections.
Okay, so we all know that Mr. Menace is a trained doctor. He's a, by profession, OBGYN, right? So I'm assuming that during his training to become a doctor, that there was some degree of science in there. I'm assuming, because in order to become a medical doctor, you have to study, even though you may be studying a particular what's the word I'm looking for? A specialty. I don't know if that's the right word, but y'all understand what I'm trying to say. He still had to go through medical school, and I wonder whether or not this man is maybe forgetful of the science that he learned or just disingenuous. Because we have heard Anthony Fauci, who is considered to be the expert as it relates to this whole push for the vaccine and the need for it. We've heard our own local health care professionals explain that even after you are vaccinated, you can still contract the virus, you can still spread the virus. And the only thing that the vaccine will do is if you catch the virus, then you will supposedly not get so ill that you have to be hospitalized, even though that is now in question because we see now what they're describing as breakthrough cases where people who are fully vaccinated are still getting sick enough that they have to be hospitalized. But yet, this man gets up in the House of Assembly and says, you just heard him, once you are fully vaccinated, you can just move about and don't have to, go through all of that. And you want to go into shock, go get your vaccine. And as if this vaccination, once you get that in your arm, that's the end of it. You don't have to worry about catching it or contracting it ever again. And we wonder why, well, before I jump there, let us hear now from, because, right after he made this announcement, we saw the Consultant Physicians Staff Association coming forward saying, wait, hold on. What you just say? And, these are the people who are working on the front lines in this fight. They are the ones who've come forward and say, we are in trouble in this hospital. We got a problem with beds. People can't come in for elective procedures because of this third wave, and people are now back on on the porch, and yet this man says once you get this vaccine, you could throw caution to the wind. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. Now, let's go to that clip with the representatives from the physicians, from the Consultant Physician Staff Association to see what they had to say about the Prime Minister's announcement in Parliament.
From the data, we're told that most of our cases were related to international travel. I think that it would be concerning that we would remove the measures that we have in place related to testing to see if persons have COVID, especially when we know that even with the vaccine as an additional preventative measure, that it will not necessarily stop the transmission of COVID. So persons can still get COVID if they're vaccinated, and they can be asymptomatic as are others who do not get the vaccine. So to not have a test in place at all, I would think that would be something that we would perhaps have caution on.
Now, she's talking specifically to the visitors coming into the country, because as he would have announced, once they are fully vaccinated, they can just show up in here without any kind of test to say that they are negative. You just show up because you've been fully vaccinated. Is this man ignorant or evil? One of the two. Because either he don't know no better, or he just plain evil. He has to know better. This man is a doctor. And I am sure that he is aware that even after you are vaccinated fully, you can still contract COVID and you can still pass on COVID. He knows this. So why is this man getting up in the House of Assembly and making these kinds of pronouncements and announcements? You know, I get it. We rely heavily on tourism for our survival. I get it. So you trying to get our tourist business back. I get it. And your strategy is to incorporate vaccinations to try to make that happen. I get it. But you are going to put us at even greater risk by making a decision that once you get this vaccination, even though your own medical professionals are telling you will not stop you from catching or passing on this virus, that you just get the vaccine. Just get it. Then you could go into shock and you could dine indoors and you could be in a room with other people who vaccinated and y'all ain't got to worry about a thing. Is this ignorance or evil? Which one? Y'all tell me, please, because I won't make no pronouncement. I won't call the man evil and I won't call him ignorant, but I suggest he's one of the two. Because he has to know better than this. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Ms. Malcolm.
Hi.
So in the day that you eat from the fruit, you will not die, but you will become just like God, knowing both good and evil. So what's happening is this is not a case of just being ignorant and evil. It's a combination of the two.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Because it's stated in Google, Wikipedia, on our coat of arms. This is something that's been done, has been implanted in our system from long ago. This isn't something that's just happening. COVID-19 isn't just something that's just happening.
Agree.
Okay? The coat of arms, it tells you that on one side is the dexterous side, on the other side is the sinister side. The word sinister means evil. It tells you that something evil is happening.
There's a different meaning for sinister as well, though. There's a different meaning for sinister. So,
right.
Yeah.
But if we look at it, right, what's happening in the world right now, and especially in our country anyway, this goes beyond common sense, okay, dealing with what's happening right now. You just stated facts. I mean, I must be a surfer. I've never been to Hawaii, never owned a surfboard. But I guess what we're saying now, we're in the third wave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first wave I rode through clean. Second wave, I didn't even see that one. And now we're apparently in the third wave. I haven't seen no sprinkles of that yet, meaning that I haven't gotten sick from the time that this thing has happened, okay?
Let me ask you, are you good at math?
Honestly, no.
I don't have my calculator in front of me. I need somebody who's good at math to calculate this for me, please. I think there have been, I don't want to get it wrong, I think it's been 140 million persons around the world who have contracted COVID. At least that was several days ago, I believe. The number was 140 million.
Okay.
Dalton, Google that for me,
moment,
please. Google that for me, please. How many cases of COVID have there been around the world? I need somebody to Google that for me, please. And of those cases, there have been just over 3 million deaths. So I need somebody to work out for me what is the percentage of deaths compared to the complete number of people who have had COVID. Okay?
Other thing, Ms. Malcolm.
Go ahead.
My other thing, Ms. Malcolm, is when you do the numbers like you're saying, right? Is COVID-19 from this thing started? Not talking about the new variants of it.
Right.
But
From
this started, was this is the same COVID-19 that sprung up out of China, right, and spread throughout the world.
It mutates, but it's the same.
It mutated, but
yes.
it traveled.
Right.
So now it decided to kill over 400,000 people in the United States, which is the population of this country. So I'm trying to figure out, really now, I know I'm not stupid, okay? I have common sense and a little bit more than common sense. How did this virus decide how many people to kill in country to country? Because the numbers of persons that have already died in the United States is the entire population of the country here.
Right.
Okay? So once this virus came here and people started getting contracting it, that means that there was no stopping it. There's no way that our numbers are, I don't know what our numbers are now, right? But I'm not saying that it should be higher, but there's no way that the virus touched down in the United States, killed 400,000 people, and then came in the Bahamas, only killed 200 people, when the population is 400,000, then something is not right about this, and it's not being investigated properly. Scientific America in 1999 already published to the public. This ain't no secret information. This ain't no conspiracy. You can Google this also. In 1999, Scientific America already stated publicly that humans have the ability to make viruses that are detrimental to humans and also beneficial to humans. The earth is not putting out a virus and trying to kill us. The earth it gives. It regenerates. The human body does the same thing. Okay? So this stuff, this COVID-19 is not from the earth and it's not from nature. This is a man-constructed disease. How is COVID-19 more powerful than AIDS and HIV? People are not being banned from, is there a vaccination for HIV? Because from the time I was born, I ain't had nobody telling me I needed to get a vaccination for it.
Well, you know,
in order to go into places.
A lot of what you're saying, people will say, "Oh, that's just conspiracy. That's just conspiracy." So let's stick to what we know for sure. Okay?
Well, this is what we know for sure.
Let's stick to what we know for sure. What we know for sure is, thank you, Murnell, there are 145 million people around the world who have contracted COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Last time I checked, a couple of days ago, there were just over 3 million people who have died out of 145 million people. Do the math. You're talking around, what, 1%? Of persons have died from this. Now, that being said, I was recently on a call and a doctor made a statement that we have to get this vaccine because your immune system is not strong enough to fight it on its own. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how come 100 out of 145 million people, only 3 million have died? So what them other 142 million, because many of them had this before the vaccine. So how did they survive if our immune system is not strong enough to fight this thing? How did those 142 million people survive without a vaccine for the most part?
Because
if your immune system ain't strong enough to handle this, somebody make this make sense.
Yeah.
It does not add up.
No.
It doesn't make sense from a scientific point of view.
I'm going to call it for what I see it as, ma'am. I'm going to call it for what I see it as, and this has nothing to do with the radio station. This is just global murder on a high level scale without question to who the culprits are. Okay? That's what this is. These people are able to do whatever they want, spray things in the air, administer vaccines without anyone questioning them, and really, we are.
Okay, I think I lost you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want us to go down the road of conspiracy, because the first thing they will jump up and say,
we are living beings with intelligence.
I understand that, but the first thing that they will say is, "Oh, y'all conspiracy theorists are always spewing." So let's just, state obvious global obvious facts, because what you yes.
My phone is about to cut off.
Okay.
There's something I want you to look up, please. Emperor QIN. Look up Emperor QIN, burning of the books and burying of the scholars. Mm-hmm. If you look that up, you will understand what's happening in the world right now.
Oh, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you, I ain't disagreeing with you.
Burning of the books and burying of the scholars. Humans, in long time, centuries ago, destroyed the ability for humans to have the freedom to think for themselves and to do what they want. This is a free planet that we live on, and all the resources are available to us. Homelessness is illegal.
Okay, his phone cut out. Listen, I don't want you to think that I disagree with much of what he said. Okay? I'm just saying that whenever you come with these different philosophies or arguments, the first thing they do is they jump up and say, "Oh, y'all conspiracy theorists are always spouting off things." So let's just stick to the obvious facts. Okay? Because you could argue that you can't prove that this was man-made. You could argue, you understand what I'm saying? So let's just stick to the obvious facts. It is an obvious fact that 145 million people have contracted COVID-19 from this thing was first discovered. That's an obvious fact. An obvious fact. Just over 3 million have died Obvious fact. So my question is, and the vast majority of those 145 million people who survived, who contracted this and survived, the 142 million, went through this before the vaccine ever became available, because we know this vaccine is a new thing. So if your immune system is not strong enough to handle this virus on your own, what is the magic wand that those 142 million people around the world have, if it ain't the immune system? Because they ain't had no vaccine to beat this thing. It does not make sense. And you can't argue against what I just said. All you got to do is look at the numbers. It does not add up. So I ain't trying to go down the path today of you trying to accuse me of being a conspiracy theorist. I just asking you to look at some numbers and explain to me how out of 145 million people, 142 million have survived. The vast majority without a vaccine. But get this vaccine or die. Y'all think we stupid, eh? Caller, welcome to GPS.
Well, it's me again, Michelle. How you doing today?
Hi, all right. How are you?
I'm okay. I just wanted to come out first and apologize for the other day when KCX was on your show.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the first part of your show. That's why I missed that inference you made. I didn't catch that part. That's why
Got it. No worries.
I asked what I asked.
No worries.
Okay. Moving right along, praise the Lord. What you're saying is accurate, and you know what? If you present a different point of view, you have to come with facts. And of course, a lot of conspiracy theorists have been labeled as one of them. But like you said, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. And the fact of the matter is, like I'm glad you mentioned the percentages. It's just a tad over 1% in mortality rate when it comes down to COVID-19. That's if all the reports have been authentic.
Exactly.
If you die anything, he labeled it
exactly.
COVID.
Very early on in this pandemic, they were using the terminology, this person died with COVID, not even from COVID. So out of that 145 million, we don't even know how many of them actually, well, out of the 3 million, I should say, we don't know how many of them actually died from COVID, because early on in this pandemic, if you got into a car accident and your neck got sliced in the car accident to the point where you bled out, but you had COVID in your system, they'd say the person died with COVID.
That's right.
So that's a fact.
Another thing too, the PCR test, it's not a testing mechanism. It's not used for human testing. It's not designed to test the blood accurately. It's not a testing device. It is not. That's why it's so inaccurate. BBC did a story on it last year. Since if we want to go a step further and check the credibility of it, okay? This is why people get a rapid antigen test today, negative. They get a PCR test the next day, positive. What's the odds of that? Okay? When you've been in your house all day. Okay? It is inaccurate. It's designed to give you a positive reading. That's all. That's plain and simple. People walking around, they come with the terminology asymptomatic and, you can have it and don't know it. And it's very simple biology. We got to go back to school. If you have a respiratory illness that attacks the lungs,
right,
the body has to be oxygenated. The bloodstream, the red blood cells have to be oxygenated. The only way we can move our muscles around if they're oxygenated. That's why a boxer goes, he breathes up and he strikes. Our brains must be oxygenated. So therefore, if we have any virus attacking our lungs, we're going to feel the symptoms automatically. That's 1 + 1 biology. The human body needs oxygen. If the lungs are compromised any which way, the body shuts down. Simple. What made me so annoyed was, and I was being a big fan, I'll call his name on Dwayne Sands. He went on the Naja Black show a few months ago and said he's not taking it. And he explained why, and it made perfect sense.
I remember.
How there's no liability. You can't sue them if something goes wrong with this test drug, this experimental drug that's made us feel like the guinea pigs. And he comes back around months later and endorses the vaccine, said it's all free and clear, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm wondering what changed his mind.
I could tell you what changed his mind. He get a nomination.
Boy, anyway, I can think of a few other things too.
Let me stop. Let me behave myself today.
I'm gonna be brief. You know, listen to me. Don't mince no words, Michelle. It doesn't become you. Listen to this. I mentioned to you about a couple of weeks ago. There's a renowned biologist. He is a vaccine creator.
Dr. Gert Van Bosch.
That's right.
Yes, I'm very familiar with him.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
He was the lead scientist in GlaxoSmithKline.
Yes.
That's a very notarized pharmaceutical company.
He worked for Bill Gates, yes.
That's right.
He is an expert in the field, yes.
I'm glad you did your research.
I'm very familiar with him.
My job.
And this man is now sounding the alarm, saying, stop.
Thank you.
And here's the thing. Exactly. You can't call him an anti-vaxxer if he helped to create vaccines.
Exactly. And
if he is sounding the alarm, and they try to play like they ain't hear what he said.
Exactly. He has to hide in YouTube with the risk of his stuff being moved off YouTube. He can't come on Facebook. Anytime I try to share something, or one of his quotes with some of his colleagues on Facebook, it's either taken down and I'm warned. Okay? This is going deeper than we think it is, folks. And a lot of us are walking around with our eyes wide shut, and it's going to cost us our lives. It's going to cost our lives.
Deep coma.
People don't know how dangerous ignorance is. It's like looking at a tall glass of cold, sunny water, but they have 2 specks of cyanide in there. And what you don't know will kill you. And this is really getting to me, you know, because people don't understand their reality, Michelle. And a friend of mine texted me this morning saying that she was scheduled to get a vaccine date, and it really has me in. You know, it has me wondering. You know, what about the rest of the young women who have kids? You know, and they don't even know what they're getting themselves into because they want a job or they're possibly threatening.
Well, we're gonna talk about that job situation on the other side of the break because you know some of these people are telling you if you don't take this vaccine, you can't work here.
And so, from defending them, man. I mean, this is unconstitutional, man. I mean, like this really starting to get to me, man, because these guys are pushing the agenda and they're flooring the gas this time. You know, because they see Bahamians ain't really on their run with taking this job.
You sound like you sound like you're quite knowledgeable. A thought came to me, and I was trying to figure out: is there a biological or medical reason for this? Do you think it's strange that this third wave is happening all around the world at the same time, pretty much?
Isn't that ironic? And travel is not as regular as it is.
I thought that was strange. I could see it happening in some countries and then other, but all at once it just seems all at once, all around the world, same time.
All at once. What it is, Michelle, they send us the mandate at the same time, and everyone follows. As we know, our good Prime Minister, Brother Minnis, he's a good follower, isn't he? Only thing he doesn't do is follow the messages of his people. You know, this makes me question, like, what kind of man he is. Because
ignorant or evil? Oath. Your pick.
No, he took the Hippocratic Oath, you know. And his job was to protect the interests of human health and longevity of that health. And, you know, what he's doing, he knows exactly what's in this poison. And that makes me wonder what does he serve? Because this is beyond now, man. We have access to one vaccine, the worst vaccine in the bunch. The worst vaccine in the European Union.
Has America approved the use of AstraZeneca as yet in its country?
No, man.
Oh,
they
I
put
didn't
a
think
pause
so.
on J&J.
But I figure, well, yeah, but I figure I might have missed something. But
the AZ vaccine, Michelle, the countries in the European Union put a pause on that twice.
Mm.
So it's good enough for the black folks and not good enough for the white boys. What's going on here, man? What's going on here, man? America decided to say, you know what, we're not taking that. Let the rest of them from the Caribbean and Africa, let them take that.
Stacy says, when the vaccine was created, so was the third wave. Wake up. Stacy, you ain't easy. Lord of mercy.
I think Brave needs to change that slogan for his campaign. That wave thing, that's just getting to me, man. That does sound right.
Anyhow, caller, we 12 minutes past our break time, but thank you
Yeah,
so much for calling, eh?
You take care, Michelle.
Thank you for calling. I got to take a break, y'all. Our sponsors are everything. They're the ones who keep the show on the air, so we got to make sure that their ads get played. So yeah, y'all, we're going to take a break, pay some bills, and then we're going to come back and we're going to continue talking about the week that was in this unique and wonderful place we call the Bahamas. Vaccinate or isolate? We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair Boutique is a haven for women and men looking for professional beauty services. Our state-of-the-art and contemporary equipment creates a relaxing ambiance for you to enjoy while we cater to you. Need a hairstylist? We cater to all types and textures of hair for care and styling. We even have a barber on duty. Need a nail tech? Our technicians provide a range of nail services, including the latest trends. Unwind in one of our massage chairs while you get your pedicure. With our reasonable rates, friendly staff, and over 20 years of experience, you will be in great hands. Call us at 823-1669 or 698-1025 to schedule your appointment. Want to be pampered? Want to be slayed? Let Divine Designs make your day.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's a TGIF Open Line show today. We're talking about the week that was and whatever it is that you want to talk about, get it off your chest. This is the place to do it. Now, just be respectful. This is a gospel station. So you can't call here and, use no colorful language and them kind of things. Okay? Just keep in mind who our audience is. Okay, so I want to read a couple of your comments. Anton Wallace says, it is my understanding that at least 30% of our Bahamian population are against taking the vaccine and many more undecided. Dr. Fauci is claiming now that to achieve herd immunity, one vaccinated populace should be at least 85%. Instead of forcing us to take the vaccine and separating the vaccinated from the non-vaccinated, The government of the day should have started an educational program on healthy diets, foods, and our overall immune system. And Anton went on to cut off your statement because it was too long. So I agree with you, Anton. I've been saying I don't understand why it is that alongside the message of get your vaccine, they're not also spreading the message of what you can do to become healthier, to make you less susceptible to becoming very ill from this virus. So yeah, something is missing here. Something is missing. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good morning, Lady Malcolm. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you today?
That's good. I'm fine, thanks. A lovely show as always.
Thank you.
You know, Lady Malcolm, I'm starting to believe that the Prime Minister really helped Bahamian people for stew count. You understand? He helped us for stew count. He's using Junkanoo to bribe the Bahamian people to take the vaccine. But this is something that I've been preaching over and over and over again. I keep telling y'all that the vaccine is going to be implemented systematically. I've been telling people that for
over a year. I've been saying that from I was in the other place. And people were sending all kind of message saying, y'all need to take this woman off the air because she's trying to scare people.
No, it's not a scare. It's a fact. It's a global agenda that's being pushed on the world. Not even just the Bahamian people. It's being pushed globally. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm very, very disappointed in Dr. Minnis because you cannot bribe the Bahamian people to take a vaccine by saying that we'll be able to go to Junkanoo. Come on, man. What? You don't have no hope. You don't have no you don't think that Bahamians are intelligent enough? I mean, let's analyze this vaccine, all right? We had India. They donated vaccines to us here in the Bahamas. And just this past week, in one day, they have over 300,000 COVID-19 cases. So that goes to tell me that this vaccine must not be working.
Well, either that or they didn't get a lot of people to take the vaccine in India.
Okay, and that's still alarming because if y'all produced the vaccine and y'all still wasn't able to convince the Indians to take it, then why should we Stu Conk in the Bahamas take the vaccine? You understand? Another thing with this vaccine is that they already told us it doesn't mean that you're not going to contract COVID-19. Okay, you still can contract COVID-19 even if you take the vaccine. So that means at the end of the day, even though you would have taken the vaccine and you would have contracted COVID-19, it still would affect the COVID-19 numbers. So what is it that we're really doing here?
Well, they say that the vaccine will stop you from getting so sick that you have to be hospitalized. So it may affect the numbers, but it wouldn't affect the hospitalizations, I guess.
Yes, I know they have said that. And plus it has been recorded in the United States of America that some persons have still died. Yes, it's a very small fraction, but at the end of the day, this is test tube baby time. And you cannot force your Bahamian citizens to be a test tube baby, to be like a lab rat. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot do that to your Bahamian people, man. All right, Lady Malcolm.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. I was warning you all for over a year. We're going to come to the place where they're going to say, you don't have to take it. No, you don't have to take it. But you can't come on my job, which we're already hearing in this Bahamas. Employers telling their employees, either you take this vaccine or you go in this Bahamas. You know what? Let's touch on that right there. I had Wayne Monroe on my show a couple of weeks back. We have another call. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, this is Amos.
Amos.
My position, when I heard that doctor who you mentioned his name, I should have written it down. Who you said on one of your callers mentioned from who worked to all of those different international agencies as relates to virus and stuff.
He's a person who helped to create vaccines.
Create virus, not
virus, vaccines.
Vaccines. I said virus, but vaccines. This is the mind. That is like the inside. You don't. It doesn't get more you don't get more inside information than that. Now, I'm making that statement to say this. you and I grew up on vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know that, and all Bahamian people know that. What I am concerned with is exactly what your show is about when you speak about this. But I need them to hear this. Those persons who had comorbidities, there's so many unanswered questions that the Bahamian people and the world that are not getting any answers to. What helped me to make up my mind, and it's so unfortunate now because my mother has taken this vaccine, and my brother has taken this vaccine, and my nephew has taken this vaccine. My thing is, and I agree with your last caller, no one should be forced, no one rights, inalienable and indivisible rights that the Constitution gives, the supreme law of our land gives us, should be intimidated by any person, any group, okay, in this manner. And if the Bahamian people could have made so much noise when it came to gambling and when it came to married people bedroom business, now we're talking about the life, the actual life. Okay, 11 years, almost 12 years, because this year is going to fly. It's going to be 12 years for me going through the punishment, the judgment for bringing certain declaration, my sister. Okay, when I said the Bahamas government was involved in a global governmental conspiracy to defraud the Bahamian people on every drop of their natural asset and natural resources, you know what year that was? You know what you go through for making that statement? Why are we? And thank God for Facebook. The Bahamas government, when I started, wasn't even nowhere on social media. That was my blessing from Almighty God. I am not afraid to die. I offered my life almost 12 years ago. The people could not see that far. And it's unfortunate because of that blindness. We are having so many deaths around the globe. Did I lie? Would the civil society challenge me right now? Is there a leader in the Progressive Liberal Party who wants and vying for government challenge me on this point of order? Is there any cabinet minister alive today in our Bahamas cabinet wish to challenge me on any point of order that I can bring, that I have brought, pardon me, almost 12 years now? What is the punishment for a common brother, citizen, that all of these institutions have been silent, including the fourth estate, the fifth power? Like they play like they didn't hear me. Now, what I supposed to do? How long I was hungry for this? Now, the world dying. Michelle, I'll keep your show. Your show is divine. Your beauty expresses exactly what God intended you to exhibit in this world. Your inner beauty, your outward appearance, just a reflection of the beauty what's in you, and that is reflective of our country and its people. And I need these people to comprehend. Honesty is a real love language. Integrity is a real love language. Truth is a real love language. Now, for the S, they could choose sovereign, they could choose state, they could choose sons, that's S-O-N, S, or they could choose the S-U-N. And I could go on with a lot. But what is the point I'm making here, ladies and gentlemen? The trumpet was blown, and the man who blew the trumpet, because I didn't come with a high school, pardon me, a university degree or some title in a church. It was sampled. Talk show personalities have been fired. When they had their job, look how they treated me for blowing the trumpet. Where are they now? How much deaths are in the Bahamas, and I am still alive and I'm still talking.
Okay, Amos, I need you to wrap this up now. I gave you a long rope.
Oh, and I am grateful. So let us see what you're saying. Okay, what others have said. the facts might. So in conclusion, this is what I say: if and it wasn't for that doctor, I don't know if I would have failed this way today. So thank you, my sister, for the opportunity.
All right.
Bahamian people, we're not dumb and stupid.
Thanks for
God
calling.
is on our side and on your side, Michelle.
Thank
GPS
you.
forever.
Amen. Thanks for calling, Amos. C. Alan Johnson posted something on his Facebook page the other day, and I was like, "Wow, this is just." It was the painting of a naked woman coming out of a well, and he explained that the name of the painting is "The Naked Truth." And the story behind this painting is that truth and a lie were walking together, and the lie said to the truth, "Let's go for a dip and some cool water. Let's go down in a well and enjoy some of the cool water." And so the truth said, "Okay," and they both went down into this well and to enjoy the cool water. And then while the truth was enjoying the cool water, the lie slipped out, went back up the well, and took the truth's clothes and put it on and ran away. And so when the truth came up out of the well, the truth's clothes were gone. And so the truth started to go through the town trying to find the lie that was dressed in its clothes. And the people, when they saw the naked truth, shunned her and said, "Oh, go away, go put on some clothes, go away. And they treated her so badly that she retreated back into the well. Meanwhile, the lie is going all around town dressed up like the truth. I really have to do some research on that story because I thought, wow, this is powerful. That's the first time I'd ever heard it, I have to admit. I thought, wow, this is powerful. Because see, the thing is, when it comes to a lie, there's always enough truth there to make it believable. In the case of that painting, it's dressed in the truth's clothes. So there's always enough truth in there because if it was completely ridiculous, you would recognize it right away for what it is. You'd recognize it's a lie. I'll get away with that foolishness. This is how the devil operates, actually. He always comes with just enough truth in there to make it believable. And then you buy it hook, line, and sinker because of that little bit of truth in there. Not realizing that you just get swing with a lie. I'm going to let y'all marinate on that during this break. Stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
I call it perfection. When elegance and taste make a connection. Every single dish is a taste of heaven. For your banquet or your wedding, who you getting? HD Catering. HD Catering.
Book Heaven's Delicacy Catering today with Chef Lachey Jones and experience a taste of heaven on earth. Call 533-9621.
HD Catering.
Located on Carmichael Road, Divine Designs Hair
Hats off. Looking like I walked out of catalog. Everybody wanna know where I got it from. Catwalk, 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 boutique, where we make fashion statements. Catwalk, boutique, where we make fashion statements.
For the latest styles in women's clothing and accessories, visit Catwalk Boutique on Robertson Road East at the Helron Plaza. At Catwalk Boutique, we make fashion statements.
Looking for an extraordinary junior high school with caring, qualified staff and affordable tuition? Then come visit us at Elite School of Excellence, an affiliate of First Step Academy. ABECA-focused and Ministry of Education approved, we foster discipline, integrity, and wisdom while molding our students for success. Call us at 341-8846 or stop by First Step Academy Schools on Fire Trail and Soldy Roads for more information.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Escape from the city life to Bacon Air Beach Resort in Pirateswell, Mayaguana. Relax in one of 16 air-conditioned rooms just steps away from the ocean. Enjoy scrumptious dishes in our waterfront dining room. Sip on a tropical cocktail, or if you must, stay connected with wireless internet. Nestled on one of the most beautiful beaches in the Bahamas, Bacon Air Beach Resort offers a unique vacation experience. For reservations, call 339-3726 or 463-0182.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's an open line show today. We're talking about the week that was and anything else that you want to talk about. So prior to the break, we were talking about the naked truth and how people repel. People don't want to see the naked truth. They rather believe in the lie that's dressed up like a truth, like the truth. And I'm wondering if that is what we're dealing with here. Because anybody that has anything to say apart from the approved narrative is castigated. You're called anti-vaxxer. You're called conspiracy theorist. You're called irresponsible. You're called all manner of things, and all you're doing is just pointing out some, like the numbers I pointed out earlier. Okay, let's not go down the road of the conspiracies. Let's just look at the numbers and explain to me how out of 145 million people, 142 million survived, most without a vaccine. Explain that to me. And now we're hearing that even after you are vaccinated, obviously you still have to, not throw caution to the wind, in spite of the garbage Prime Minister said in the House of Assembly this week. You can't throw caution to the wind because you still could catch this thing and spread this thing. Let's go to the clip with Dr. Nakia Forbes talking about, what happens once you get the vaccine, the fact that boosters will still be necessary after. Let's go to that clip.
COVID-19, as long as the outbreak is going on worldwide, the virus is going to do what viruses do. They change, they mutate. And some of these changes mean that people with COVID can be more infectious. It can be more infectious. It can mean that people get sicker. And it can even mean that some vaccines don't fully work as well as they would on the wild type original strain. And that happens in other respiratory viruses like the flu. That changes every year. Scientists have to predict what will be the circulating strain. And so we change the flu vaccine a little bit every year to predict for that, to cover that strain. So COVID-19 is probably going to be like that. There are probably going to be vaccines that are changed a little bit, or booster vaccines to cover these emerging strains. And so it's highly probable that there's going to need to be booster doses of it.
Now, when I said that over a year ago, not just me, but the handful of us who dare to say anything other than the official narrative, been saying that this one vaccination round is not going to be enough because the virus will mutate. And what happens if this vaccine does not recognize the mutated version of the of the virus? Then you're going to have to keep being vaccinated. Over a year, I've been saying that. Now we're hearing that after you get these first 2 shots, you're going to have to get a third booster within 6 months. This is one of the experts in the United States saying this. Within 6 months of you being fully vaccinated, you got to get another booster shot. And then we just heard Dr. Forbes, every year thereafter, most likely. And yet, you know, they're saying, okay, we have to do everything we have to protect ourselves against COVID-19. Fine, no argument there. So vaccinate. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to continue to wear your mask. You need to continue to isolate. You need to continue to wash your hands. We can't put down our guard. We have to continue to do all those things, but you also have to vaccinate as an additional layer of protection. Well, there's one important layer of protection that is being completely ignored in this argument. Completely ignored. And that layer of protection is strengthening your immune system. Because as 142 million people around the world have shown us, you can beat this thing. And the majority of those 142 million people did not have a vaccine to do so. Why is that being ignored? Siobhan says, what is concerning is that no country has enlisted any nutritionists on their COVID-19 team as to provide an alternative way of beating the virus. Secondly, not one country is addressing the possible legal ramifications of this vaccine for people who may encounter long-term illness or possible death. There are no legal ramifications for the government. There are no legal ramifications for the pharmaceutical companies that have created this thing. They don't tell you, dog, eat your lunch. Don't come to us if something happened to you down the road, and tell your family don't come to us if you die down the road, because we have zero liability. This is experimental. Take your chance. Something ain't right, y'all. Something wrong with this picture. Why are they ignoring your immune system in all of this? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Michelle,
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry for calling back, but I had that I can't let you just fly past that. That's a serious point you have made. And I remembered you making that point more than one time. Oh, and it's, yes, been over a year ago. Mm-hmm. So I had to call back. Michelle, listen to me. Any right-thinking person knows that if, before COVID came, if we went to the doctor for any injury or any sickness, and the doctor say, I'm going to give you this medication, but if you die from it, we will not be held responsible. Come on now, Michelle. Anyone with common sense who have not went to school will choose not to take that medication, and probably even walk out the office of that doctor and or the hospital. But the point what cannot be ignored is when the pharmacy, the government, not causing the people who are responsible for creating this vaccine to be held responsible and accountable. If not
Zero.
responsible, first accountable.
Zero liability.
See,
Zero.
yeah, and see, that is the most egregious thing to cause poor people who don't have money. What I'm trying to figure out here is people are dying from just can't work right now and feed themselves properly, and you cannot ignore the immune system. God did not just. How could humanity be living for all of these centuries without this vaccine? When we have overcome much worse incidents than this fact. Okay, so it's egregious. It's just egregious just to even bring the thought. That's the point I'm making. It's egregious to bring that thought, and not only bring the thought, but carry it out. And now carrying it out by force. Listen, you know and I know, before the Bahamian sovereign people, okay, this is the gateway of the world, start talking about recovering our natural resources and standing up and putting our sensible head on our body, there was no serious issues with the world, medical issues. Okay, yeah, they had wars. Furthermore, if that's the case, and you want, and it's not a conspiracy, then allow Bahamian people to go fishing and conking properly and feed themselves properly. You understand what I'm saying? We were saying for years on the talk show, okay, why were we not allowed to bring in products from Hispaniola? Okay, since we are doing so many bits, since we found out that the things that we're bringing in from America is contaminated with all type of ungodly chemicals.
Okay, stay focused. Stay focused, Amos.
Okay, let's come back now. Let me come back then. So I agree. The immune system is key. God structured the immune system. God's smarter than humanity, doctor and scientist time. So I can't even put a time to it. So stand focused, my sister. I'm leaving with these last parting words. I mean no harm, and I'm not here to ruffle anyone's feathers, but life is over death, okay? And I cannot afford, because see, if you tell people, you forcing them, they can't travel no longer throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas without paying for some kind of this and that before they can travel, knowing they don't have a job. You don't care about that. You don't care how they're going to eat, how they're going to live, how they're living. Listen, this is a global takeover, and enough is enough. And this is where I say the Bahamian people must say game over. We will take control of ourselves and our country. And part companies, we don't have to travel to these people's country. Okay, the world is in our yard now, and they have to do business with us. We have debit cards. I cut up my credit card 11 years ago. Now I am only waiting for my money, what my intelligence and my God will give us. He gave us this country. He gave us us. He gave you, me, and me, you, meaning us. The Bahamian people, one another, to be unified. Now is the time we come together and tell these people enough is enough, and we will take charge of our health.
Okay, Amos.
I am frustrated. My mother take this vaccine. My brother took
Well, I tell you one thing. You better make sure that they're doing some serious nutrient therapy.
Telling people I was ready to go take it too, only because of transportation. I didn't go and take it. So God, walking in victory for me, paid off.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so much for
sister,
calling.
again.
For those
Okay,
of you who have taken the vaccine, I just highly recommend that you do some serious nutrient therapy. Please do some serious nutrient therapy. Give your body something to work with. Please. And I obviously have to be responsible with what I say. But, you know, the key is this, people. Whether or not you decide to take the vaccine, again, that's a personal decision, or should be a personal decision. And obviously you have to continue to do all of the other things like the social distancing, etc., washing hands, etc. But do not ignore what I believe is the most important layer of protection against this, and that is a healthy immune system. You do so at your own peril, even if you took the vaccine. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, Michelle, I had to call back because I actually sent you a video. In the video is the biologist we talked about, Van Gert.
Mm-hmm.
His 1-2 thoughts adding to what we're talking about right now. And he mentioned, just as the previous video I sent you mentioned, how a lot of people are testing HIV positive when they take this vaccine.
Mm.
All right. So a few other doctors in that field are saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It first started in Australia. That was the first reports I got of it when I was doing some digging. And pretty much in the video that I sent you, only credible scientists are backing up the theory that they're explaining. And it attacks your immune system. Actually, it makes your immune system attack the human body, the cells in the human body. Okay? I couldn't understand the mathematical science of what he explained, but he broke it down for us to understand in layman's terms.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And this vaccine is engineered for the body to attack itself. Okay, now I don't know if you know about it's a condition, I forgot the word, where a pregnant woman, her immune system malfunctions and attacks the fetus.
Mm.
And she has a stillborn.
Yeah.
Okay, well that does happen. And in this particular instance, the RNA vaccine, it reprograms the cells.
Yeah, I do believe that the warning that Van Bosch is giving is specific to the mRNA vaccine, I believe. I have to do some more research.
It's not just him. Remember,
I know. Listen, I've seen all the videos. I've seen them.
Right.
I've seen them. So it is what it is. But people ain't listening.
The one in particular that really caught my interest was the biologist who ran the team by Pfizer, and he quit.
Yeah.
And as a statement that he released, it's authentic. He released it. He says that the 3 years after taking this vaccine, the second shot, he says this. Anybody listening to my voice could Google this. He says that 3 years from now, after taking the second booster shot, is a long time. After getting the second shot, 3 years is a long time.
So he's saying that 3 years is the amount of time that you should watch out for side effects. Is that what you're saying?
3 years, your time should be expired. That's what he says.
I don't understand what you mean. Time should be expired.
The vaccine will cause your body to react to itself and you will die.
Oh,
that's what his words
that's what
are.
you're trying to say. Okay.
That's what he said. I didn't say that.
No, I get it. I get it.
That's his official release. He was the lead scientist who was on the team designing the vaccine for Pfizer. And let anybody research that for themselves.
Well,
it's authentic.
Time will tell.
He says, an agonizing death, he says.
Time will tell.
So I don't want to scare anybody, but the people who made the vaccine for Pfizer, that's what he says.
Yeah.
And I like to err on the side of caution. And sometimes if you get some good advice, if someone tells you, hey, stop in the road, don't move, and you stop, you look the next way, and the car whoosh past you making 80 miles an hour, it's like, good God, thank the Lord, listen.
Mm.
But what if I was like a typical baby and said, man, I ain't into you, man. You can't tell me what to do. Bam, dang.
And you get knocked down.
You understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
We'll word to the wise. I go on.
All right. Thanks so much for calling. There's a lot out there, y'all, and it's not from people who are questionable in their authenticity and their credibility. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't want to get more credible than Gerd von Bosch. And nobody has been able to say, oh, this man is not credible. That's the thing. Nobody. Because you cannot question his credibility. So what do? They censor him. They can't say what he's saying ain't true. But they censor him so you don't hear it. So yeah. You just got to figure out why. What's going on? What is really going on? It don't take a genius to figure out that there's more to this than meets the eye. I've been telling y'all, it can come to the point when they can tell you You can't work. You can't go to the food store. You can't participate pretty much in your society unless you take this vaccine. And nobody is questioning why they are ignoring the fact that your immune system is key to all of this. Because the only way a vaccine will work is if your immune system does what the vaccine, is prompting it to do. So why ignore the immune system? Why ignore the overall health of your people? Why? For those of you out there who are listening, who are interested, you all know I'm a certified holistic health coach, and the Institute of Holistic Health, IWH, is now doing a client trial where over the course of 3 months, they're going to observe clients who are taking therapeutic nutrition and see what kind of improvements they can document after the 90 days, whether it be improvements in reversing chronic ailments like blood sugar imbalances, all manner of disease that are these comorbidities that we keep hearing about. And so if you're interested in that, I have pinned on the top of my Facebook page a health evaluation, a link to a health evaluation that you should take. And there's a slot there that says, who referred you to this? If you're interested in being a part of that trial, put on that slot something like trial or nutrient trial or something like that, so we could know that you are specifically interested in being a part of that. And, the difference between this trial and the other trials that we've heard about is that this one does not involve putting any kind of chemicals in your body. This one is involved in putting nutrition into your body, plant-derived nutrition, and observing the impact of that on your comorbidities. So if you're interested in being a part of it, go ahead and fill out that health evaluation. I have it pinned to the top of the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page and put on there mineral trial or something like that. And that way we'll know what your interest is if you're interested in being a part of it. Because somebody has to do the research. Somebody has to do it, because clearly the establishment is not, for whatever reason. I have my own theories as to why they're not. Because you can't patent nutrition. So all of these billions of dollars that are being made from these vaccines, because they ain't giving away these vaccines for free. Governments are having to pay for them. You might get it in your arm for free, but governments have to pay for them. Okay? This is a business. They making money. Okay? So every time you get a jab, that had to be paid for. And now we're talking about a booster shot within 6 months after your first two, that got to be paid for. And then we're talking about vaccines every year thereafter, that got to be paid for. So who you think making all this money? And why do you think they ain't pushing for you to figure out how to become healthier? You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. And this is why I'm amazed at how people ain't seeing this. Like, again, I'm not telling you not to be vaccinated. That is a personal choice. And if you choose to do that, fine. But in the name of Jesus, people, if you get that vaccine, please nutrify your body. Give your body something to work with. Just in case people like Gert Van Bosch, who are sounding this alarm, are right. Just in case. I want y'all to Google cytokine storm, CYTOKINE. Google that. just in case they right, you're going to need to give your body something to fight with. Nutrify your body, people. Get your immune system working, people. That is the answer to this pandemic. Because out of 145 million people around the world, 142 million survived. And instead of only focusing on them 3 million and shutting down the world for those 3 million, why are we not studying the 142 million who clearly had something within their bodies that helped them to fight this thing off? Why? Why are we not taking a proactive approach as opposed to a reactive approach to this pandemic? Why are we now hearing, okay, take the vaccine, that is one layer of protection. The second layer of protection is you have to continue to social distance and wash your hands and cover your mouth with the mask. Do all of that. That's 2 layers of protection. What about the third layer that is so conveniently being ignored? Because truth be told, and this may be the naked truth that y'all don't like to look at, but truth be told, if you have a compromised immune system before you take the vaccine, and you do nothing to improve your immune system after you take the vaccine, the vaccine only works with your immune system. They are saying that it will stop you from getting very sick. It cannot do that in absence of your immune system. So if your immune system is compromised before and it compromised after, what you think will happen? When we come back on the other side of the break, we can start talking about these businesses who telling people that either you take this or you get off my job. We can talk about that. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, yeah. We got fish, conch, lobster, shrimp, everything you want. Ocean blue got it. Ocean blue friendly and clean, best service you ever seen. Ocean blue is the best in seafood, hey. Fresh out the water and affordable too, hey. Ocean blue seafood, we are here for you. Ocean blue seafood, no one else will do. Ocean Blue Seafood, located on Bernard Road. Contact us at 393-2160.
At the Shirley Street Plaza, you'll find Le Petit Gourmet, a small cafe that's big on flavor. Handcrafted delights made with love will not only please your palate, but feed your soul. Call us at 394-1251. 8 to 12 minutes is all it takes for a burglar to rob your home or business. Security Systems International provides professional and affordable solutions for both. Call 396-5000 for your customized quote. Gwen's Alterations provides professional services for all your tailoring needs, including face masks to keep you safe and in style. A stitch in time saves 9. So call us today at 393-6227.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. And this is Glory 93.9 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm. Today is TGIF Open Line Show. And we are talking about the week that was, matters that are important to all of you, whatever you want to, whatever you have in your mind, let's get it off your chest. So we've been hearing now that there, this company, this restaurant is telling its employees, either you take this vaccine or you can't work here. And the lawyer for this company is saying, so sue me. You don't like it? Take me to court. And so this raises all kinds of questions as to the legality of this. Because if for religious reasons I can't take this vaccine, and you're trying to force me to take this, then this becomes a constitutional problem. And if I decide that I really, really need this job and I decide to take this vaccine because I don't want to lose my job, and then I somehow contract this COVID and I get sick as a result, or I have some bad reaction to it, is your job going to pay my legal fees, or are you going to take care of my family if I die? If I happen to be one of those breakthrough cases that still gets very ill and ends up in hospital, are you going to cover my health care costs? God forbid if I die, are you going to take care of my family? Are you, in other words, taking any liability for what's going to happen after I take this vaccine? Or are you just telling me to come on your little job? I got to take this vaccine. And to hell with what happened to you after. The level of arrogance of these people never ceases to amaze me, because science tells us that just because you take this doesn't mean you can't contract or pass it on. Ain't no arguing against that. So you telling me I got to take this vaccine to come on your job, but you ain't telling me nothing else as it relates to protecting myself against this. So I coming on your job with this vaccine thinking I'm protected. And everybody floating around on your job thinking we protected because we took this vaccine, which you demanded that we take. And then what happens if we're not protected fully and we get sick? What kind of liability you have? Because if the pharmaceutical companies ain't taking no liability, if the government ain't taking no liability, I know you ain't taking none. But yet you, with your arrogant self, could try to force me to put an experimental drug, which has not even received full approval by the FDA, into my body. Y'all really gotta stop. So this is a clip now from the Tripartite Council on their view of this whole situation of jobs now, trying to tell people that they have to be vaccinated in order to continue to work there. Let's go to that clip, please.
Am I being discriminated against because I have to do a test? Do I want to do a test? It's a real difficult situation. But we're going to have a full discussion. But I think, personally, what's going to happen, this whole thing is going to end up in the Supreme Court and in the federal courts, everywhere else.
Yeah. They know that people who are working on their job don't have that kind of money to go to court. They know this. These, for the most part, are not wealthy people. Otherwise, they would have to be working at your stinking restaurant. So they know this. And once again, they're trying to use their power, their money and their position and their power to bully people into this decision, which again has been scientifically proven that it can't stop me from contracting this thing or passing it on. Now, they say that once you take the vaccine, you won't get so sick that you will die. And that has been the majority of people who have taken the vaccine, they say. Somebody's calling the text line. Y'all, the number to call is 828-3543, not 2543. 828-3543 is the number to call. But yeah, we see these breakthrough cases happening, but people are vaccinated and still getting sick. Somebody posted a comment in here about how their premier got vaccinated and still contracted COVID. I'm not sure where they're located. So, you know, when it comes to these employers, and I really see this as a test case. They always test in the water to see how far they could go. And if we let them get away with this one, dog, eat your lunch. Every hotel, every job will start to tell you now, you can't come on this job unless you take this vaccine. Like they some kind of doggone medical professionals who can take any responsibility for you if you have any kind of adverse reaction. Ain't no responsibility, no liability. Whatever happened to the argument, my body, my choice? Whatever happened to that argument? Because we like to bring up that argument when it comes to questions of you know, your ability, your decision to have a child or not have a child. So how come you all ain't arguing against this? What I miss? Because clearly I must have missed something. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm okay, Michelle. I think that what Bahamians need to do is boycott these places that are going ahead.
Long time.
Bahamians need to wake up, man, because this is a bunch of nonsense. I see the PM is going ahead and trying to lure people. I guess the fear that he tried to instill in terms of taking this vaccine isn't working. So now he's trying to go ahead and give people the premise that, hey, if you go ahead and take this vaccine, you're going to be able to return to regular life. But, you know, all of the indicators from, like you say, the experts are saying that this is not going to happen. So, you know, the thing is, what is it? What is the agenda? Does he have to go ahead and fulfill some type of obligation that he already made with Bill Gates or somebody?
That is the question. That is the question, because he as a doctor know this ain't making no medical sense. None.
Exactly. So the thing is, why is it that him and Redwood Wells are so keen on trying to force people to take this vaccine?
And Redwood Wells, who's not even a medical professional, comes out and say one thing. Oh, we have, you know, we don't have any problems with beds in hospital. And then the doctors and nurses coming out saying exactly the opposite.
Listen to me. If you tell Redwood Wells jump out of a window, he can go ahead and do it because of the fact that if he could go ahead and sign that agreement that he was in problems with the PLP for, why the hell he can go ahead and sign whatever it is that he have to sign and do whatever he have to do to keep himself? He got, 5 or 6 children? Tell him go let his wife and his children them take that vaccine. He got enough people that they could go experiment on.
I mean, you know, my only advice to them is y'all need to get on the same page, man. You can't be saying one thing and then your medical professional saying something else and expect us to take y'all serious.
At the end of the day, it should be a freedom of choice. If I choose that I don't want to take a vaccine, I am a citizen of this country. I shouldn't have to be forced to take no vaccine. So,
I agree.
You know, the thing is, tell them go give it to the man and the grandma.
All right, caller, thank you so much for calling.
Have a great day.
Yeah, they going from fearmonger. Oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally cut you off. They going from fearmongering to bribery now. They know how much Bahamians love Junkanoo. If you take the vaccine, you can go to Junkanoo. Really? Oh boy. Y'all deep. So here is a clip with Wayne Monroe talking about the legality of them telling you that you have to take this vaccine if you want to stay on that job. Here's QC Wayne Monroe.
You can terminate somebody for any reason and for no reason at all. You just have to pay notice and severance. And if it amounts to conditions that are unfair, you'd have to pay damages for unfair dismissal. The part that they're overlooking is you mandate your employee to take a vaccine. What happens if that employee is one who has blood clots and dies? Now you should be liable, eh? If the person refuses and you terminate them, in my judgment, you'd have to pay notice and severance, because being vaccinated is not a term of anybody's contract that I know about. Now, the ones who take it, if they get ill because of the vaccine and can show it's because of the vaccine, you should be liable for that as the employer, having compelled the person to take it. Policy I saw, they say you either take the vaccine or you do a test, right?
Mm-hmm.
That tends to suggest that if you take the vaccine, you can't get infected. But we know that isn't true, eh? They've told us that yes, you can still get infected. Yes, you can still infect other people. The benefit of the vaccine is you won't get sick and you won't die. So it only protects you. It doesn't protect anybody else. So now you give the impression that the people who are vaccinated, you're not concerned about their COVID status. What happens when they come to work and they're positive and they infect other people? Should you be liable for that?
These are questions that need to be answered. Things that make you go, I dare say that these arrogant restaurant owners and whoever else trying to come with this nonsense, they don't care about you. If something happened to you, dog, eat your lunch. That on you. And don't come to them asking for no donation either, because they ain't getting you none. I can't even say only in the Bahamas, because now I just saw a tweet this morning as I was coming here, where it was saying that universities in California are now requiring that you have to receive the vaccine in order to be a part of on-campus activities, to go to school. Y'all is be thinking, y'all think I be talking to hear myself. I been warning about this. Oh, Michelle, you are scaring people. So who's scaring people now? Y'all ain't scared yet? One of my favorite shows from way back in the day is The Twilight Zone. I love The Twilight Zone. This was a show that was popular on television in the 50s and 60s, I think. And it was all about futuristic type of things. And, not just futuristic, but it was a really good show. Really very, very well produced show. And they have an episode called The Obsolete Man. And you can find it on YouTube. The Obsolete Man. You know what? I at one point was going to do a show on that, and I think I don't know where I would find that clip right now to send to my producers. I don't even have my cell phone with me. Guys, if you go to YouTube and type in The Obsolete Man, you might see one that is like 2 minutes long, because there are some that have the full episode, and then some that have the highlights from that episode. See if you can find that for me on YouTube. It says The Obsolete Man is about 2 minutes long, I think. And the premise of this episode was that there would come a day in society where the state determines whether or not you have any value or are making any contribution to the state. And so if for any reason the state decided that, you're not making a contribution, you're no longer, necessary, you would become obsolete. And that means that you would be determined, because you're unworthy and obsolete, they would just euthanize you. You get rid of you, right? And the thing in this particular episode, one of the members of the state, anyway, I can't go into explaining all of it. I want y'all to go watch it. But the point is, the state determined your value, whether or not you had a right to continue living your life. And if they determined that you were obsolete, then they would get rid of you. Now, I look at what is happening in our world today with this vaccine, and them saying now here in the Bahamas and elsewhere around the world that we're not telling you you have to take it, but if you do not take it, you won't have the same privileges of those that do. You won't be able to do indoor dining. Let me know if you find it, Delton. You found it? Yes, it's about that. Let's show the clip. This particular clip shows you highlights from. Oh, hey, let me know when it's uploaded. This shows you highlights from that episode called "The Obsolete Man." They determined in this particular episode that this guy was no longer necessary because he was a librarian. He believed in books, and because knowledge was banned, nobody reads books anymore. So what is your purpose for living? And so they determined that he was obsolete. Here's my point. Let me know when it's ready. Here's my point. The state is now trying to determine for us whether or not we should have certain privileges unless we follow along what they're telling us we have to do as it relates to this vaccine. So you're telling me that even if I come to your restaurant and I just took a PCR test and the result is negative, which clearly shows that I do not have COVID-19, not even a rapid antigen test, a PCR test that clearly shows that I do not have COVID-19, I still can't come in your restaurant because I didn't take this vaccine. And then if we say we're going to give people the choice, well, you don't have to take the vaccine, but you're going to have to take a PCR test, right? But yet now the price for this PCR test is going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So in other words, we ain't telling you can't, but we make it a dead hard for you to say no. Are we going to come to the place when the state determines who is obsolete? That ready yet? It gonna be ready in 2 minutes? Well, not taking long. Yeah, these, Michelle, you spend too much time watching TV or whatever. But these are some of the things you need to ask, because a lot of those things that aired on that show that seemed so far-fetched way back when ain't so far-fetched no more. Now, when I was telling y'all from over a year ago that we would come to this place where they're going to tell you that unless you take this vaccine, you won't be able to work. You won't be able to conduct business. So in other words, even if you own your own business, it's going to come to the point, I believe, where they can tell you, you can't receive customers in your shop unless you vaccinated, because you risk infecting them. You ain't going to be able to go to the food store. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. You are not going to be able to participate in your society. In essence, you will become obsolete. If you decide that you can beat this simply by being healthier. Yeah, this is a problem, people. This is a problem. Talk to me, Delton. It's ready? Let's go to that clip. Okay, they're trying to upload it now.
You walk into this room at your own risk, because it leads to the future. Not a future that will be, but one that might be. This is not a new world. It is simply an extension of what began in the old one. It has patterned itself after every dictator who has ever planted the ripping imprint of a boot on the pages of history since the beginning of time. It has refinements, technological advances, and a more sophisticated approach to the destruction of human freedom. But like every one of the super-states that preceded it, it has one iron rule. Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace. This is Mr. Romney Wordsworth. In his last 48 hours on Earth, he's a citizen of the state, but will soon have to be eliminated. Because he is built out of flesh, and because he has a mind.
If
been under investigation, Mr. Wordsworth, for the mandatory period of 1 year and 11 months. You're found to be obsolete. The purpose of this hearing is to make a finding in the matter and make a sentence accordingly. Do you understand that, Mr. Wordsworth? Your occupation, Mr. Wordsworth?
A librarian.
A librarian. Having to do with books.
Yes, sir. Books.
Since there are no more books, Mr. Wordsworth, there are no more libraries. The field investigators in your sector have classified you as obsolete. Your rights are as follows, Mr. Wordsworth. You are to be liquidated within a period of 48 hours. You are obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
A lie. No man is obsolete.
You have no function, Mr. Wordsworth. You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
I am nothing more than a reminder to you that you cannot destroy truth by burning pages.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions that you inject into your veins with printer's ink. The narcotics that you call literature, poetry, essays of all kind, all of it an opiate. You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
The Chancellor, the late Chancellor, was only partly correct. He was obsolete. But so is the state, the entity he worshipped. Any state, any entity, any ideology that fails to recognize the worth, the dignity, the rights of man, that state is obsolete.
Twilight Zone was deep, y'all. The truth is a menace. I want y'all to think about that. That show was done so long ago, they thought cigarette smoking was still a good thing and cool, so that's why he was that's why he was smoking cigarette on TV, because back then they never used to say that. You know, they used to try to make you think that cigarette smoking was fine. Yeah, that's how long ago that was. But I want y'all to think about the concept of that clip, the concept of that show. Because I dare say that that is where we are headed. Where the state decides whether or not you and your views are obsolete because you dare to have a narrative different than theirs. Caller, welcome to GPS.
How you doing, Michelle?
Good, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing great, Michelle. That show yesterday with Kai from Abaco,
Mm-hmm.
that is what
Thank you.
this one thing. Michelle, let me tell you something. Whether you know God got your back. So you don't have to worry. Just continue to speak truth to power. They can hate you. They might come after you, but whatever God has for you, He's going to give it to you, and He's going to keep you doing this because you're speaking truth.
Amen.
Especially that show yesterday with Kai. I mean, he didn't hold back anything. And one of anybody responded to him, and one of anybody in the authority called him. You know, concerning that show yesterday, the way he came out and that was forceful and didn't hold back on anything that he was saying. And then these shows that you're doing on health. And like you said, I love that analogy you gave the last time. You see if you have a herb tree or something they're planted, but it ain't getting all the sunlight and the water.
Yeah.
But you just go and take a brush and you think the leaves green.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with the immune system.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know if you saw that this guy, he's all for vaccine, but he came out forcefully and said, do not take this vaccine because once you put it in your system, it destroys your immune system. And once it is in, you can't take it back out.
Yeah. We talked about him on the show already today, Gerd von Bosch.
Okay, yeah, I missed that question.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's so important. I tell people, even just the simple things, as you go out to eat, your pale leaf tea, your chiva grass, your moringa, your neem, all of those things. And drink plenty of water, stop drinking the milk and the sugar and the dairy and all of that. You could see your way strengthening your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
But Michelle, just continue to keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for calling. Ah, boy, y'all, time gone already. I'm only 3 minutes left in the show. Y'all, if we don't wake up and smell the coffee, if we don't wake up and see what's going on, are we in danger of becoming obsolete? And you saw the way that clip ended. Is the state in danger of becoming obsolete because of the ego of one man? These are some serious times we're living in, y'all. Very serious times. And I want to encourage you to not only get healthier, not only do what you have to do to improve your immune system, but I want to encourage you to draw closer to God, because these are some perilous times in which we live. And if you don't have a discerning spirit, you're going to be swept away. You're going to be swept away. The Bible tells you. And I'm really concerned about this direction that we seem to be heading in, like blind sheep. You ain't just sheep, but you're blind with it. Wake up, people. Wake up, wake up, wake up. These are some serious times we're living in. And again, I ain't telling you don't take the vaccine. If that is your conviction, then by all means go and get it. If that is your conviction. I just want to encourage you, make sure you nutrify your body with or without that. Because just in case they're right, you may need that in the future. That's going to do it for me today, guys. My time is gone. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us on GPS, Global Paradigm Shift. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make today's show possible. And what would we be without our audience? Thank you so much for tuning in, whether via radio or Facebook or YouTube, however you're getting us. Thank you so much for being a part of the experience. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a great weekend, everybody.